you come on in, but also, more importantly, let me know if you're ready to make some money this week, okay? As always, I got a jam-packed video for you guys, so please keep it locked. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure this video get at least 1,000 likes. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. The market will be open tomorrow, guys. Just a heads up. So that means we gonna get in our bag and get to the money, okay? I told everybody because of the sell-off this week, it's on. I mean, this past week, it's on site, okay? Get the likes up as you guys come on in here. Let me know where you from. Let me know if you're ready to make some money this week. But more importantly, we about to get in our bag, man. I had to jump on here really quickly, guys, because I want to give you some guidance. If you're rocking out with Coach this week, I want y'all to bring y'all A game. We are about to get busy, okay? Check this out, okay? A technical thing I want you guys to know. So Trump tried to calm the market, okay? He put out a tweet on Truth Social, okay? He put out a tweet on his platform that tried to smooth over the market, okay? And because he did that, we're getting a gap up, but it's called a dead cat bounce, okay? I want you to know this in preparation for tomorrow because I'm going to teach you how to navigate and make sure you capitalize on all those things, okay? So with that being said, check this out. The boom boom candle from Friday. Here's the thing. Follow this for my auditorial listeners, man. Follow this for me, okay? The boom boom candle, the big red candle. I need you to chart out the 50% mark and the 80% mark, okay? The move tomorrow may either try to recapture 50% of that candle or up to 80%. But if it cannot recapture the whole entire candle, guys, we're coming right back down, okay? So I had to jump on here because I don't want you to get caught with that trap that's potentially being set, okay? Because look, although he smoothed it over with his social media posts, he can come right back out and say, I don't like how China is responding, and I am going to impose another 100% tariff. And then boom, market go right back into a tailspin. We right back to square one where we left off it on Friday. Okay, so as I often tell you guys, this is high level chess, and I need you to approach it as such. Okay, I need you to look at it, understand it, and come into it with that mindset. Okay, so here's a few things for me, guys. I want you guys to be on the lookout for. Okay, you may now, because of the news that came out through Trump Social from the president, you may now get a gap up. But this gap up, I'm looking at it until they show me otherwise as a dead cat bounce. Everybody write this word down and make yourself familiar with a dead cat bounce. That's your homework, is DCB, dead cat bounce, and a bull trap, okay? I want you guys to be familiar with both of those words in preparation for this week. Just because even if it don't happen tomorrow, it don't mean they're not setting the stage for it to happen another day, okay? Again, they using tweets and other things to smooth things over. That's why we getting this little temporary relief, okay? I don't want you to get it twisted, all right? We still
Not really
in some
sure if
dangerous territory. All right, now here are
American
what I
Semiconductor
have
is in the
as a few
same
stocks.
sector.
Obviously, one that could change your life, okay? But it's a few that I want on your radar for tomorrow, okay?
And these
Make sure you
power
guys take a
names,
look at the SPY. Remember, everything starts with the
but
SPY.
it's similar.
So be looking for 663 and 665 as a test. That's a level to the upside that we want to test. You have to know, number one, everybody say sell-offs equal buy the dip opportunities. Okay, I want you to know the right frame of mind. This stuff isn't bad. This stuff gives us an opportunity to get in our bag and make more money, okay? So get the likes up for me, guys. Let's really get it out here. Let's really turn up tonight in preparation for tomorrow. The market will be open. The bank holiday is only for the bond market and the banks. The stock market will be open regular hours. Make a note of that for me, okay? But listen to this. those dips that you saw Friday, those are the opportunities of a lifetime that we talk about. That dip, I want you guys to have any stock that was on your radar that you want to buy, haven't bought yet, or want to buy more of. I want you to use Friday's dip as an opportunity to do so. Okay, that's number one. If it come down further, you put your hands together like this for me. You load up the Brinks truck, and then be looking to buy more, because I don't care what this do, we are ultimately still going back higher. Let me know if that's understood. Okay, so number one, you have to look at the SPY. That's the ticker symbol SPY. That's the S&P 500, because it is a totality of the top 500 companies in the market. Okay, that's going to gap up thanks to Trump trying to smooth stuff over
is connected
663 to 665. If it can't go higher than that, I need you to watch that though, because we'll just come right back down to 660. Okay, keep a note on that. Another thing to put on your radar. Okay, everybody take a look at APLD. Okay, I want you looking at APLD. Okay, some of these stocks are going to be a buying opportunity for those of you, like if you like, man, coach, I missed it the first time you said it. Some of you are going to get a chance to get in it finally and then go back up. Okay, I want you to be thinking of it like that. Okay, look at this, guys. You should have a list like this. You should have a list of stocks like, next time the market drops, I want to get this stock, and this stock. Don't go overboard. Okay, you want to make sure that it's manageable, because we don't want to spread our money too thin. All right, get the likes up for me, guys. Okay, as you come in here, make sure you like, make sure you turn all the way up for me. So then if you have a group of stocks that you want to buy, you already have a game plan for when the opportunity presents itself. Okay, so APOD, that's number one or two if you're not counting the SPY. Okay, Mara, ticker symbol MARA, is something I want on your radar. Okay, I want, more importantly than that, you got to be looking for those of you that like to play Tesla. You're going to get some, listen to this, for anybody that like to make money with Tesla, or you like that level of volatility, you got a few ways you can play it. Okay, so check this out. Tesla is going to be in a 30-point range for you guys. And so that 30-point range is going to be to the upside and to the downside. So support will be at 400, and to the upside will be at 430. Everybody write 430. So 425 to 430.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about Tesla. Okay. Here goes. Let's jump into a little breakdown here. I can see the YouTube comments. If you're on X, that's fine. But YouTube is just better. All right, let's go. There is one stock that is about to break out. It does have American in the name. That sounds pretty dumb, but if you look at what tickers have recently broken out, American independence from Chinese rare earths, and now that's spreading to power stocks, AI, hyperscaler stocks, is all the rage. And you can see that in, look at Lithium America company's massive move up. The US recently announced a 5% stake in that company back in the beginning of this month in October. So The ticker is AMSC, American Semiconductor, and they do power electronics, which help power generation systems, which help data centers, which help OpenAI. Everything ends up going back to OpenAI in the market right now. It is what it is. And I think AMSC is the place to be right now, seeing as you can't invest directly in ChatGPT. It's private. This is not financial advice. Let's jump in.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 So this is the chart. So if you knew nothing about the ticker, except it starts with an A, which is for American, and the chart looks like this. So you have a very clear, clean entry level off of this 67 that it actually bounced off of today, but we're not really about making sure you buy a stock on a particular day. It just so happens that levels tend to work because everyone can see them, including funds, including algorithms, which don't have information about why people are buying. They just know, hey, there's a bunch of volume that traded up here, and if the stock holds that level, well, it is an example of more demand than supply, so the price goes up. But this is what's going on, okay? American Superconductor Corporation. I know I said semiconductor earlier, but it's superconducting power electronics. So it's the chips that go in basically all of the data center grid modernization technologies that have to be built out. There needs to be 40 million home equivalent energy production in order to power the data centers that are required for OpenAI compute in the next handful of years. So that's an insane amount of energy, and maybe it's all a bubble, but that doesn't mean that the stocks are not going up. So here's the deal. AMSC raised $100 million. That did dilute their stock, but at the same time, that was in June, and if we look at June, the stock still went up. So, I mean, yeah, maybe this wasn't the cleanest June, but look where we are now. Okay, we're up, what is this, like 150%? Now, I don't know exactly the long-term prospects of this company. It's not in the same conversation as NVIDIA, AMD, you know, the sexy GPU companies. But if we look at those companies right now, they're selling off. AMD as well is holding, but it initially sold off with the market. So with AMSC bouncing here, there's definitely some interest here, and there's interest in power generation as a whole. If you look at GEV or CEG, VST as well holding in here. They're just kind of slow-moving names. So I think of the slow-moving names, you know, AMSC moves an average of 8% a day. And you might say, well, I don't want that much risk. I want something that moves slow. And that's fine, but keep in mind, the whole point of a stock that moves 8% a day is, if you look at some of these quantum names, in just a few days, especially when the price is very agreed upon, it's very compressed and it goes sideways for like a week, you can see that in just a couple days, you can move up, you know, I mean, this quantum name is absolutely insane in terms of price increase, but you get the idea. On these days, the price is around 1%, you know, 2% up or down, maybe a little more, 5% or so, but once it moves, it really moves, and you can risk very little and gain a lot. Caveat to that is, sure, sometimes Trump does something Trumpy and the market dumps 3-4%. Pretty unusual though. That candle of 4% down in the SPY and the QQQ in the futures, NASDAQ futures, biggest down day since the tariff capitulation in April, which was the lowest the market has been since, what is this, 2023. So yeah, we're well beyond that. That was a sort of single day issue. Yes, the market could go sideways, could drift down, but it's unlikely to have quite as an extreme down movement. And of course, anyone who's been taking a look in the past month knows that we had an absolutely unprecedented move up in September. So is it a surprise that we gave a little bit of that back? Some profit taking happened. Some big players used that tweet as a reason to sell a little bit. That's not really surprising. So maybe we roll over a little bit here. Maybe we move sideways. No one knows what the market itself is going to do. What we do know is that as long as you're not trading, investing with $1 billion, you don't actually have to care what the market's going to do, because you don't have to invest in the market. You can just invest in what looks like the strongest setups, companies. And we're not fundamental investors, so I won't say companies. We're looking at the charts, right? So they absorbed that offering. They raised some money. That's great for them. They do have revenues up 50% year over year. I'm not going to say that it's super important to look into all the details here, but they do have a backlog, just like NVIDIA talks about, total year backlog of 300 million, and they have strong guidance. So I don't know exactly what their guidance is for fourth quarter, but from what it seems like, this is from their own website, Investor Relations, there's nothing here that looks super worrisome. Year-over-year increase in revenues, and good statements from the CEO, and there's the backlog and confidence and momentum. So nothing here is suggesting any sort of concern, so don't have to worry about it. Now, all we really have to do at this point is say, what is the big opportunity here? And the big opportunity is some sort of Trump stake, government stake. Now, I'm not betting on that. I'm just saying, after the move with Intel, which was the government took a stake in Intel, after the MP move, the government gave 400 million to MP Materials as a push for rare earth independence from China. This was back here. And now, after the Lithium America 5% stake, which was right here, which led to this move, gave it back down, came down with the market, but now we're back over those highs. You have to be looking at companies that do represent independence from Chinese metals, and it has to be straightforward to think a company with America in the name that does superconducting chips is at the center of this conversation. So the money for the Intel stake came from the CHIPS Act. So I'm not saying that this company is going to be partially owned by the government in the near future. I'm just saying there's buying here that regardless of what news comes out, it looks like the stock's going up regardless. So that's the idea. That's the risk, and it's a low risk spot. Even going back to August with those earnings, pretty much held that level. So AMSC, American Superconductor. If you like these ideas, hit that like button so more people see them. If you want to get notified on these coming out, you can hit that subscribe button. And if you want to talk about other stock ideas in a group with people doing the same thing as you, head over to stockscommunity.com. You can try it out for 7 days for $25. And I will see you in the next one.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 All right, let's see what Chris Sane is up to.
I want to give you guys zones, okay? 425 to 430 on the upside. You always need to know your levels, okay? Know your levels, change your life. 435 Tesla, 425 to 430, I'm sorry. And then support is going to be 405 to 400.
Archer
I want
Aviation.
you getting busy within that whole entire range, okay? Get the likes up for me, guys. And so that will be first things first. Then you will have, I won't put Iran on the docket, not least for tomorrow. They might go down, okay? They might gap down, and I want you to, excuse me, I want you to look for opportunity in that when it comes lower. More importantly, though, listen to this. The thing that I definitely want to see you guys in is our Lyft play. I don't want you to sleep on Lyft. I'm going to come back to Lyft in a second. But also have Meta for me, Amazon, Google, and Netflix. Put those four on your radar for me, okay? Put those four on your radar. Okay, but now I'm coming back to Lyft. All right, check this out. Everybody write this down, because this is something I want you guys to, I want you to see how this plays out. I want you to see how we do this, okay? Everybody write this zone down for Lyft. 19, so anywhere 1990 all the way down to $14. So that's a what's that? 14 and 19. That's a $5 range. That is your buy zone, okay? That is your buy zone. We have a $30 price target on Lyft, but this is the number one stock, okay? It's going to be Lyft. Now, this is more of a project, so I'm more or less looking for you to get in position, because when earnings come and when the acquisition come, you got two catalysts that's going to make it go parabolic, okay? Or potentially go parabolic. Get the likes up for me, guys, okay? Get the likes up for me. So I want you guys to listen to this. You got to choose the 1/15/2027 strike price. That's number one. Number two, make sure your delta is between 70 and 80. That's requirement number two, okay? Number three, you need to buy on a dip. Or when the price is between $19.90, so $19.90, that is a buy zone, all the way down to $14. So anywhere within this range, okay, guys, you can buy this particular play. I want you to follow my play. I'm gonna be in everything with you, because if I win, you win, and coach
See what
don't
other
lose.
news there is
Okay,
for
if I
Archer.
win, you win. Coach don't lose. Why? Because everybody eats. Everybody eats with me. Everybody eats that's over here. Okay. If you part of the same gang, you gonna eat. If you on a Discord, you gonna eat. If you on a Patreon, you gonna eat. And if you on a money team, you gonna change your life. That's just how we put it down. Okay. But for Lyft, I want you to know the buy zone, where coach wants you to buy it at. Okay. I want you to get it at $19.90. That's your high range. Okay. You can get it higher than that, but I would prefer you get it at $19.90 all the way down. We might not even see 14, okay? It might not even come to 14, but in case it do, that's a buy zone. That's not time for you to panic. The technicals tell us, or tells coach, this is going to 30. Listen to this though. En route to $30, we gotta hit 20, Write this down so you know where your play is going, so that you have the right patience and temperament to ride it out. I need you to hit the destination with us. You're going to hit 20, 23. Look at these targets. 26 and then 30. It's going to go to 29, then 30. Okay. But I want you to know 20, 23, 26, then 30. Okay. All of it can happen in a whip of an eye. Okay.
Pretty
All of
interested
it
in
can
this
happen in the blink
national
of an eye.
security
And I want
news.
you to know and understand that on your journey. Okay. So with that being said, this is a patience play. Everybody remember SoFi? Do you remember SoFi? Let me know if you remember SoFi at $7. Let me know if you remember SoFi at $9 or $8. Let me know if you remember SoFi at $4. I want you, when you think of Lyft, I want you to be thinking of how SoFi played out. That's how Lyft will play out in this estimation that coach is giving you. Okay. And so if you remember SoFi, understand this. SoFi and Google, for instance, both hit the target, but they did it a lot slower. So like uh 3 to 7 months type of deal. Okay. Not saying Lyft will take that long, but I want you at least to understand, like, if it has a slow period, a consolidation period, I want you to know that that's how this stock trade. Versus, listen to this, if I go put you guys in Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir, boom, that's a Ferrari. That's a Ferrari. Okay, so you have to know certain stocks move with certain velocity.
Okay. Nvidia does not look like a good place to be right now. I should be careful though. It's okay to be in it. I just don't think it's a good spot to open up a new position. Which is why we're talking about Archer. Palantir doesn't look like it's interesting either right now. If you're in Nvidia and you're trailing this moving average, maybe that's your level where you sell out. That's why I typically go for a 10% push, whatever that is. We can't really see, but 10% would be 18 above here, so somewhere up here. And then you sell the rest, and that's why you're up a little bit. Even if the stock comes back down to your average. But not looking at Nvidia, looking at Archer Aviation. So this is the company. Multi-$100 million partnership with Toyota. For Joby. And Airlines has placed an order for 200. Okay. And a partnership with Palantir. So that's Archer Aviation. This is the chart, and this is the investment newswire. I'm not sure that was really related. Look at this. This was October 1st. October 1st. October 1st. Importantly, this was the 10th. And that was here. Archer's holding. So is that right? 28 billion? Yeah. AI security. All right. I can see comments on YouTube, and let's get going. There is one stock that is about to jump up in price. It is part of a $28 billion US venture capital investment in AI security. This also includes defense, and this company is US based. So of course it's part of the US independence theme, which is really hot right now in the market. The company is ACHR, Archer Aviation. It does electric vertical takeoff aircraft, and that might sound futuristic. It's realistic. They are demonstrating as of a week ago, and they're going to have a fleet ready next year in 2026. So 200 aircrafts ordered by American Airlines already. Let's take a look at the chart and why Archer Aviation is the hot stock right now.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 Okay, so this move was crazy, right? 50% in a handful of days. Followed the market as well. Can't really see it unless you zoom in and you see, yeah, the market definitely went up in early October. Importantly, on this massive sell day on Friday, which is the 10th, Archer Aviation bounced right back, okay? Did sell off, but bounced right back and is above that level. So that's pretty exciting. If you look at its sister company, Joby, it's similarly bouncing back. So this theme is definitely strong. It does look like Joby Aviation is not quite ready to go. It is sort of at this pivot level. After undercutting there, Archer is pretty much holding after this parabolic move, and sort of gives you a place to buy off of all of these tight compressed days. So that's the name of the game. Number of days in a row that are pretty small compared to these massive days. You don't want to be buying in the middle of a massive day, because what happens is then you get a massive day down often. So you like to get in before the move happens. That sounds simple, but easier said than done. Here is the $28 billion venture capital investment. In 2025, Archer is in that conversation. Anything that brings AI and security together is a pretty lucrative business to be in. And as I said, the volume trailed off a little bit after that parabolic move, as you'd expect. And now it looks like we're basing to move up again. So this will be the level again. Of course, slightly failed, above it. Went above this level from July, but sort of getting the best of both worlds, where you see these blue skies up here, but you also have a spot to get in where you're not risking so much. It's not like you're getting in here and risking down here. You already went up, now you're pulling back. It's kind of reminiscent of the opportunity in AMD right now. It's easy to feel FOMO when AMD just came out with this deal with OpenAI and it moved up 50% in a few days. Well, if you were able to have some patience, you actually got rewarded when the market came back because AMD came down and now it's basing, so you have an opportunity to get in with tight risk. Of course, does this pattern always work? No. Okay, look at Oracle, for example. It came down, you could get in, and then ultimately Oracle did roll over a little more when the news came out that it was leasing its GPUs and actually not having much margin on them at all, even though it had this agreement that OpenAI was going to use a bunch of their compute. So here's the challenge, and here's how to get around it is, if you do get in here, you don't know what's going to happen after mid-September. So this is all we see on the chart, right? Okay, so you're looking for a 10% push up, you sell half, right? And then if it keeps going up, you sell the other half. Now, what happened? Depending on where you got in, you might have gotten that 10% push, okay? Maybe a little less, maybe you didn't get the full 10%, depending on the day you got in. But you get the picture here. You sell half, and then, yeah, you have to sell the other half when it's back down to your average. So you make a little bit, or at worst you break even, but you don't actually lose much, if any, even when the plan doesn't go according to plan. So that's why this is such a repeatable strategy. This is the opportunity right now in Archer. And now, with all that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about what Archer has going on. We mentioned that 200 aircraft provisional order. Okay, that's maybe kind of, dubious. It's kind of like a non-binding agreement. But United Airlines is a pretty big brand name to have give you a provisional order, okay? Even if it's not a cash in hand offer. Now, they also have assistance. This is a massive company, Stellantis. And they've got some partnerships. They also went to the UAE and tested their aircraft over there. And the biggest name partnership is with Palantir to really cement that defense angle. So Anduril is a private company, unlike Palantir, but they're probably considered the next Palantir, if you believe that a company like BBAI, Big Bear AI, is a little less equipped than an Anduril, which I think is socially acceptable to say and probably true. They're also diversifying a little bit with an agreement with NASA. So they have a lot of different potential clients, the government, a private defense company, a public defense company. Well, this may not be a client, but this is a partner in the Middle East, and then an automaker, as well as an actual airline. So they have a lot going for them. And this is the recent news. They did show their aircraft at this air show. So it's a little futuristic to have it be an air show, but like I said, that fleet is coming out in 2026. And if we look in the past month at the price move, this was that air show. This was also around the time of that article where they're mentioned here. It's no big deal, like it's just a news wire from USA News Group. I don't even know what that is. I don't think most people know what that is. Sorry, USA News Group. But they do mention Archer in the same breath as a $28 billion venture capital investment in AI security. So these little PRs do sometimes matter for companies that are small, but not going to read into it too much. They also mentioned the air show. So you might think, why bother with a company that is, so new that an air show is making their stock move? Well, why bother with a quantum company that has no revenue at all? Well, because they go up 200% plus in less than a month, because there's a lot of hype, interest, call it a bubble, call it what it is. This is the market. This is not reality. And if you go against the market and you just go with your value of what a company's worth, you're going to have a bad time. So that's basically what's happened to people who are shorting these quantum names. Even into this big fall in the market on Friday, these quantum names keep going. And I think Archer is a little less speculative than a quantum name to get into at this point, which is, those are wildly extended and at a pretty level to jump in. So those are the partnerships. Of course, they're gonna get that FAA certification, but they did participate in a program with the government to test their aircraft. So they're definitely in the government's good graces. And now the question is, they're starting commercial operations in LA and Miami by 2026, according to them, but they do need that FAA certification before they do that. Of course, they are US based, facilities in San Jose and Georgia. So not only is design development, but also manufacturing in the US. So they definitely have that national security angle. And they've been working with the Air Force for military use. And this is the contract up to 100 plus million. This is the aircraft that they demonstrated at that air show. So that's pretty significant as well. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say exactly what's going to happen with this company. Obviously, they're tied in with the government, tied in with the military. They're probably going to get the full FAA certification. We don't know when it's going to happen. Having an agreement with NASA is another green flag. So it certainly looks like all systems go here. This is a lot of money in the bank, $300 million, although it's very expensive to build specialized aircraft. It seems like there's a lot of momentum with this current administration. There's a little less red tape with all that data center build out. So vertical takeoff aircraft might actually be okay the next few years, when offhand that might sound sort of like, I don't want those things flying around, kind of like the drone controversy. So yeah, they're low noise, they're electric, they can be useful for medevac, so people are going to like that. That's very helpful. No one can really disagree with that being useful. So it's hard to really say that Archer's definitely going to be the winner over Joby, but the military agreements are super green flags. That FAA certification is sort of the last step, and as far as being based, designed, and manufactured in the US, they definitely get that green check mark for supply chain independence from China. So there's the chart. There's a lot of information about the company, which I really don't expect you would hold for more than a month. I mean, maybe it goes on a crazy run, but basically sell rules dictate, let's say you got in somewhere in here, you sell 10% up, maybe you hold the rest and sell it when it comes down below one of these lines. All these lines really are is just the average of the price. That's literally what they're called, moving averages. So that's how, moves like this, when people were jumping out of the quantums when the market came down and then they kept going up. Well, if you stick with a moving average, you don't get out and you're still in the stock. So that's the name of the game. That's the stock. That's the price level and the risk. And if you like these ideas, hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to talk about your stock ideas and maybe some other stock ideas that are the best on a particular day, sometimes these videos are slightly delayed. Head over to stockscommunity.com. You can try it out for 7 days for $25. See you there, or see you in the next one.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 Let's jump back to some Chris Sane here.
Certain stocks move with certain velocity, and other stocks, although they hit the destination, they move at a whole different speed. So Apple moves slow, Lyft moves slow, Google moves slow. You get what I'm saying? SoFi moves slow. But will they hit the target? Absolutely. Coach don't miss, so I'm not worried about that, okay? But I need you to know and trust the process, all right? I want to see you guys make life-changing money off of this opportunity, because guys, I already know what it's going to do for you guys. I'm going to make sure I get at least 100 contracts, and I'm going to see the play all the way through. And then guess what? I'm going to take my profits and get up out of there, because I'm going to now go fishing somewhere else, okay? Speaking of fishing, all right, here's a couple things, okay? I want to give you guys some levels. I want to give you guys some time frames to be studying for this week, okay? Whenever you have a sell-off, that's called a change in tone when they do what they did Friday. So the change in tone will still, although the bull market is still intact, it still shook up some things. And so I want you guys to understand what's at play. So time frames that I need you guys to be looking on. Everybody operate, or at least study when you do your due diligence. Be looking at the 30-minute time frame for me. I want you to start some of your work on, you pick 2 plays to start the week. I don't want you all over the place. Identify 2 stocks you want to make money with this week, in addition to what I'm going to give you, especially if you guys in the Discord on the money team. Pick at least 2 plays that you're going to do your due diligence on. You study them on the 30-minute time frame, okay? Then you study them on the 1 hour time frame. Write this down for me, okay? And then you study them on the 1 day, or they call it the daily time frame, okay? And this is at least 3. You can go out to 1 week too. Sometimes if you need a bigger picture, 50,000 foot view of what's going on. That's how I found Lyft, on the 1 week time frame. So if you want to study Lyft, like, man, how do coach know Lyft is going to such and such price? You go to the 1 week time frame, okay? And so other plays, you might see the destination on the 1 day, or the daily, or the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the 30-minute. You get what I'm trying to say? So you have to go fishing, meaning you have to go to different time frames to get different intel, because it's going to show you and teach you something different, okay?
Here.
So, the stock market is open tomorrow, so I want you guys to be ready. The stock market will be open tomorrow. Video. I saw that question in the chat, so I want you guys to be ready, okay? I want you guys to be locked, loaded, ready to go. I want you guys to bring your A game. All right, so that's what I want you to do when you are studying. Pick 2 stocks, start on the 30-minute time frame, the 1 hour time frame, and the daily time frame at a bare minimum. Okay, then if you need to zoom out, you go to the 1 week. Let me know if that's understood. Okay. Secondly, in terms of teaching you how to fish, I want to make sure you guys know you have 2 kind of plays. Fast plays and slow plays, okay? Do not mix the 2, okay? You have faster plays, you have slow plays. I saw Wolf in there, okay? Do not mix the 2, okay? And so, for example, guys, if you are in something like Meta, that moves a lot faster than SoFi. Both are still successful, but you need to know, oh, this is my fast card. This is my slow card. Okay, I want you to know the 2, so that you come to the game with the right mindset, the right temperament, the right understanding of how that play behaves, how it fluctuates, and how it moves on a regular basis. This is key in this game, okay? And last but not least, guys, listen, protect your profits for me, okay? Some of you are going to get a chance to make some money this week, and I need you to have a plan for when you make money. So, for example, if you're up 10% to 40%, you need to have a plan to sell and take profits. And then you need to know from there, what are you going to do with it? Where do you want to park the money? Okay, excuse me. Then from there, if you're up 60% to 80%,
Proof
you
for
need to
Defense
have a
Department.
plan to sell and take profits and know where you want to park the money. Lately, guys, I just been parking my money in SCHD. Okay.
All right, let's jump into a little breakdown here on some LiDAR stocks. All right. Had to get the Tesla angle in here. Elon says it's stupid. Okay. All right, let's jump into LiDAR. There's one stock that is about to skyrocket, in my opinion. They are a LiDAR sensor stock. LiDAR is used for drones. It's used for autonomous vehicles. This company actually is integrated in NVIDIA's autonomous vehicle demonstration. Elon has famously said that LiDAR is stupid, expensive, and unnecessary, so Tesla is not currently focused on using it. They would rather just collect a ton of data and use machine learning in real time rather than relying on sensors like are more closely related to those you might have in your car right now, you use when you're backing up or when you get too close to another vehicle on the highway. Just because Tesla is not gung-ho about LiDAR does not mean that the stock is not going to go up, because there's so much demand from, well, the project with NVIDIA made the stock absolutely skyrocket when that was initially announced. But also drones, military applications are a lot slower moving. I mean, the government's famous for doing cost plus contracting, where they charge you for how much it costs to do something and then add a percentage off of that on top of that, which makes it super expensive. All I'm saying is the government doesn't always pick the best and newest technology, and we may want that as people, but as investors, they seem to be liking LiDAR, so we do too. Let's jump into the chart, which is the price levels, and see why it's a good buy now.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 So this is what it looks like. This is that massive move up from 1 to 5. This is a penny stock, but that was the NVIDIA announcement that they're integrating LIDARs, LiDAR systems. I'm not saying that LIDAR, which is the LiDAR technology, is synonymous with this ticker, which this company just so happened to pay for or otherwise secure the LIDR ticker, but you know, it wasn't a bad move. It certainly feels one and the same. There is some volume ramping up again. You can see the volume pretty much dried up after that massive move, but there's still enough volume where it's interesting. So unless you are investing more than, say, I don't know, 100 million. So let's say you want to put 10 million in this stock. That would be pretty unwise because it's only traded about 20 million. Or even less, 15 million the last handful of days. So I'm not sure that this is actually accurate, that it only traded 50,000 on that day, but no matter what exactly the volume is, you definitely want to be careful. We'll just say that. So you can get caught in stuff like this. If you buy up here in all this volume and you try to sell, you're going to depress the stock price if you have a big few $1 million position. Is that applicable to the vast majority of this audience? No, but it actually is applicable to you because you want big people to get into these stocks because that's your support. That's what keeps the stock going up. Demand from big people, from institutions, from high net worths, from family offices. If they don't feel comfortable getting in and out of these stocks, well, the stocks can just crater. So this one is kind of right on the edge of being just liquid enough to be safe to hop on board. You could say you might have an edge with a smaller account because you can get in for a move, that's crazy. That's 20% because it's a $3 stock. You go from where it's only a few percent a day, up or down. Red is down, of course. And then suddenly you're going up, 5-10% in a day very quickly, a few days in a row. So that's the idea. The level is interesting because it goes back to August and then late August and then again this month. And you're sort of also playing off of this high volume day. So what that essentially says is a bunch of people, when it goes below this level, they're losing money. So they almost certainly sold before now because it's been over a year since this high volume level. But it means a lot of people are looking at this level because it's pretty important. If they did buy in and sold, if it gets back above that level, which it is right now, then they think it's going to go higher because it's back above where they bought. Generally, this volume is distributed along this candle, but generally you look at the close of a day as pretty much the price. When you say, hey, what happened on July 24th? It's like, well, it closed at $3.20. So that's kind of the granularity we want to be looking at that in. If we look any more, higher resolution than that, you just start creating stories that aren't true. It went up, it went down, it went up. This down move was just based on, it was actually a breakout that then the market all moved down on Friday. So this moved down a lot. But it's actually not a lot at all compared to how much the market moved down. So it's holding up, which is why it's a good idea now. But you don't want to get caught too much in the day-to-day or you'll invent stories when if you zoom out, you can say, oh, I see what's going on here. This level is important. It tried it here, tried it again. Now it's trying again. And LiDAR is pretty interesting right now. Not particularly by Elon, but you know what? Elon is just part of the market. So even if Tesla doesn't want to use LiDAR, it doesn't mean that there's a lot of other companies that still need it. So they're also a little bit diversified. They are using for like mapping because they're sensors, so they do depth. And then a lot of cars are sort of transitioning to self-driving or using them. It's not like you see self-driving on the road unless you're in Austin. And drones as well are using LiDAR as sensing. Well, this is sort of a rosy application. Urban afforestation, which must be the opposite of deforestation. But you can think of why drones in military applications that sense moving targets is also an application for LiDAR. So here are some other tickers as well. OUST, robotics, industrial automation. Think like Walmart labs, Amazon, warehouses, infrastructure inspection, bridges, drones that provide camera images of places that are hard for humans to reach. And then AEVA is another one that works on autonomous systems, aka drones and now cars, and makes them better at seeing like humans do. So those are the two other tickers that are doing pretty awesome right now. OUST setting up for a while here. It's hard to get too excited about it after a huge day like this, unless it maybe pulls back and then you buy it. But it's definitely very interesting right here, regardless of it feeling like chasing a little bit. And then AEVA also interesting, sort of seeing, some sort of thing shaping up, although the volume is not particularly indicative of a move to the upside. So we'll see what happens there. LIDR has to be the most interesting one in my opinion. And I don't know exactly which of these applications is going to be the one that moves the needle for them. But people are definitely talking about LiDAR. Not as much as, who's going to get the next OpenAI deal after Walmart and Broadcom and AMD and NVIDIA. But regardless of that, 30% year-over-year increase for OUST, 50 million strategic collaboration with LG, like the smartphone LG. That's for AEVA. And there's enough interest definitely in the sector, and this NVIDIA collaboration is sort of the vote of confidence you need these days in the market. So it's unclear who NVIDIA will partner with for autonomous vehicles with LiDAR, but if there is some sort of autonomous collaboration, it seems like LIDR is going to be NVIDIA's choice, which is a pretty massive piece of news there. So don't know if it's going to be defense, don't know if it's going to be autonomous vehicles, self-driving, but there's definitely some volume, and people have seen what happened when there was volume before, which was that move from $1 to $5. And now the question just becomes, can you get in a safe way? Obviously, AI-based obstacle detection and early warning systems are incredibly important for both defense and any sort of transportation. So if there is some sort of a news announcement, it seems like if it's related to LiDAR, LIDR is probably going to be in the conversation, even if it's not directly the company mentioned. So, yeah, drones, OEMs. I don't exactly know what they're talking about here, but essentially just components that make up drones. This is a component company, whether it's for drones, whether it's for cars, whether it's for urban planning or smart city, Internet of Things. Basically, all the buzzwords use chips, use sensors, use electrical components that we call LiDAR. So there's a chart that's a sort of disgusting amount of detail about the fundamentals of what is a penny stock. So that's why I say it's, not particularly worth talking about ad nauseum, because this entire company is trading less than $10 million a day sometimes, compared to, its collaboration partner NVIDIA, which just today traded, what is that? 150 million times 100 would be over $10 billion a day. So about 1000x difference in the amount of shares and money traded in NVIDIA versus in LIDR. But hey, that's why we're talking about this on this channel, because unless you have more than 100 million that you're trying to deploy each week, you don't need to look at NVIDIA. Hope that helps. If you like these ideas, hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe. And if you want to talk, head over to stockscommunity.com. Try it out for $25 for 7 days. Sometimes I read the comments. I almost always do eventually read the comments, but I don't always respond quickly or at all, because the Discord just makes more sense. See you in the next one.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 All right, let's jump into a little more Chris Sane right here. See if you can finish this out here.
It's just been sitting around the same price all year. I'm collecting a dividend. It's not going up. It's not going down. It's just kind of been sitting around the same level. So I'll make the money with options. I'll make the money. And then when I take some profit out, say if I make 30,000, I might take 15,000 out and put it in SCHD at a limit buy order, get it if it come to this price, and then I take the other 15 and go back in and just rinse and repeat the option. I'm not giving the money back to Wall Street, because I already know if you put your money at risk, they're going to do the best they can to take it. Every time you put your money in the market, you are exposing your capital to the risk of it being taken by Wall Street, like they did on Friday. So I always say I don't hold my plays overnight if I don't have to. I always see profit, take profit, and I try not to overstay my welcome, because I'm trading with a plan. Soon as I hit X amount of dollars, 10,000 is typically my low end. Soon as my play hit 10,000, boom, I'm up out of there. The play might have went 16,000 or 23,000, but my goal was 10,000. So I stick to the discipline and I get up out of there. Okay. Other times, guys, you might have my play. I might say I'm trying to hit 30K on this play. So I try to see it all the way through. All right. But if the play goes 60, I'm not punching the air saying, man, I wish I would have held it. Nope. I came in ahead of time and said, yep, I'm trying to make 10,000 on this trade. On trade number 2, I'm trying to make 30,000. And if I hit both of those numbers, that's how I judge whether or not I was successful. I'm not trying to still, oh man, but I could have held it and made it longer. Nope, I've been doing this long enough to know, although that is the case, you guys are right when you say that. Greed can sometimes cause unnecessary losses. I'm gonna say that one more time. Greed, being greedy, overstaying your welcome, can sometimes cause unnecessary losses. You were already up, just take the win. You were already in profit, just take the win. I had to learn to just take the win, and that improved my win rate, that improved my success rate, and that's how I got to this level. Okay, and so it's just minor adjustments that I want to see you guys tweak and do along the way. Okay, I want to see you do these things because they're going to be very, very instrumental for yourself on your journey. Okay, so listen to this, guys. To recap, to get us out of here, the market crashed on Friday. Trump seen what damage he caused. He tried to put out a tweet that smoothed the market over. So now stocks are going up. Make sure you get the likes up for me, okay? We're going to go up. Look at the 50% mark on a candle, on a previous candle. So from Friday, look at the 50% mark. When you're drawing this out, put a line in the middle. That's the 50% mark of a candle. And put a line towards the top at around the 80% mark of the candle. If tomorrow doesn't clear back above the 50 or the 80% mark of the candle, know that this is a dead cat bounce and a bull trap, and we're going to come and revisit those lows that they established on Friday, whether tomorrow or someday throughout the week. Pay attention to that. Remember, this is high level chess. Okay, listen, guys, I want to see everybody in the Discord first thing in the morning. Everybody else consider joining the money team. We are going to get busy this week regardless. I'll have opportunities for you guys to make money no matter what the market do for this week. So come ready. Matter of fact, it's on site for me. I am on my revenge tour. I'm making my money back from Friday. And again, it's up the first thing the market open tomorrow morning. Okay, so listen, man, be in the Discord first thing in the morning. Everybody else consider joining the money team. Listen, guys, we make videos like this every week. So if you like this one, make sure you check out the next one. Remember, most people see the end result. But if you consider the journey, do me a favor. Don't forget, like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys grab some free stocks using my link below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace, guys. If you have any questions, drop those. Actually, you know what? Just join the next live.